This is 37th Street Radio and TV, and of course, we're out here hooking up with the best of the best guests. And today we have another special guest. So, guest, I will let you introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Auudi Rowa. I am an award-winning actor, filmmaker, producer, singer, dancer on a good day, a big sister, and a really cool firstborn.
All these things you have mentioned, I want to know what came first in your life.
Oh wow, what came first? Definitely the firstborn part, and then the big sister part, and then the actor, and then the singer, and then the dancer, then everything else, producing, directing, yeah.
Yeah. So when did you start acting, or when did you even realize that maybe you have interest in acting?
I started acting in primary school. So I moved from an 844 school to a British system school. And they had things like drama were actual lessons, like math and English. So it kind of started like a compulsory thing in the beginning, and then school plays, and then you have to participate for some of your grades. So participating in drama for grades kind of turned into, okay, yeah, I enjoy this. This is fun. So nilifanya zote, music fest, drama fest, and then school plays. School plays in Primo turned into school plays in high school, which eventually turned into now doing professional plays in big theaters while still in high school.
At that time, did you think that maybe you will pursue it professionally, or was it just an opportunity? Guys are acting, let me just go. So did you think that maybe one day I can pursue this thing professionally?
In the beginning, no. In the beginning, it was just fun. I was loud, and being loud worked for me, and my teachers loved it. So it was just, in the beginning, it was just fun, really, his hobby. And then in high school, when I was just about to finish, that's when it became like serious. And my drama teacher was like, you should consider doing this full time.
Now, after high school, of course, now you are through with school and you are a little bit free. So is this the time that you started pursuing it professionally? And you can also tell us like how your journey, how did you start it professionally, where and which opportunity?
Okay, so I started professional acting when I was still, I can still call it high school. So just pre-university, because after Form 4, I went to do IB in St. Mary's, and St. Mary's is really well known for rugby and theater. So yeah, I played the main in the St. Mary's play, and then that same year, a friend of mine was working with a really cool theater director at the Oshawa Auditorium, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm going for this audition for this musical. Do you want to come?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So we went, we auditioned. At the time, the musical was Robin Hood, if I'm not wrong, and went and auditioned and ended up as part of the ensemble. So which means basically part of the dancers and the singers. And at the time, I didn't have like main roles and stuff. So that's kind of how I started. So my second last year of high school is when I pretty much started my professional career and got my first check.
Yeah, so when now you started, I want to know, now you have a lot of experience, and I just want to know, are there roles that when you are given right now, you are like, what, how do I even execute this role? Maybe you have never done such a role, and you go, maybe the directors love you, and then they tell you, this is now your role. So do you sometimes, are you afraid, will I deliver? I have never tried out a role like this.
The truth is, you should always be afraid as an actor, because then if you're not, something is wrong. if you have a level of nerves, it means you care that much about it, which is important. Although with that said, I am yet to read a script that will make me go like, OMG, where will I even start? So far, I haven't gotten that yet. But I have gotten roles that are challenging and interesting, but nothing that has made my heart skip a beat yet. Yeah, and I would say right now I am actually playing one of my more challenging roles ever since I started acting, which is my character on the Salem series, which is on Showmax. So that one has been my most challenging right now. Yeah.
When you get these challenging roles now, like, what do you do? Like, maybe are there books that you read that tell you what to do? Like, how do you do it? Do you maybe contact other actors in the industry
Well,
for
okay.
any years? What?
Maybe I give you my process, because I know for a fact every single actor has a different process. The first thing I do is read my script like a novel. So basically reading it without any bias. Don't read the character you've been told you're going to play, just read it like a story. The reason you do that is because first you want to understand what's going on, what's happening. And there's no way you can be a good actor in a story if you don't know what's going on with the other characters around you, whether or not you're going to meet them, right? So I do that, and then I have a small notebook where I now write things that I find interesting about the character and the story in general. Then I highlight my script, start getting my lines, and then now I start filling in the blanks. Because the thing is, a writer only gives you a foundation of a story. They can't give you everything, right? And that's why you have writers, directors, actors. They have to put in some sauce and mchuzi to make it interesting. So basically, at that point, I add a backstory to my character. She's been written as a diva who is a slay queen who likes da da da. So now I start adding for myself, why is she like this? Did something happen when she was younger? Did she go through hardship in terms of coming from a poor family and now she has to find a way to survive? So things like those that can make your characters interesting. And then after that, I just keep reading the script again, like a novel, so that those lines become natural and doesn't sound like you're speaking something. Because a lot of the time, a writer writes the way they see it, but the minute you say it out loud, it doesn't roll off your tongue the way you want it to. So you tweak such things. Yeah, and you just keep doing that, and eventually you have enough to put up a role. So yes, I do read some books, but I don't read them at the time when I'm working on a character. Those I read when I'm not working on anything. So on days like today, when I'm not on set, I'll read something like Stanislavski, or Stella Adler, and people like those who basically they all came from the same line and thought of acting, but just added things that worked for them that made them different. So yeah, that's material I work on when I'm not on set or when I'm not working on a character, because then it becomes a lot. You can't study while you're also trying to put the study into a character. It can't work. So you have to do the extra work when you're not working.
So is that also what you do to just stand out or make guys believe in you? Because there are those actors that when you just see a poster, you just feel happy, you want to watch whatever they have produced. So, and of course, I know you want to be such an actor, so that when guys just see a poster, they just say, if this lady is here, we are probably going to watch this. So is that part of what you do to just make people believe in you standing out? So just reading books, taking your time to just read the script and not doing things hurriedly.
Yes, for sure. That definitely helps me stand out. And I would like, and it's what you said, you want someone to look at a poster and be like, ah, if she's in it, I want to watch it, right? But there has to be a reason for someone to feel that way. Do they like your personality? Do they just like how you play so many different people in such a good way? There has to be something about you that's an X factor. Because again, there's so many actors. So what is it that will make you get the role instead of me, you know? So yeah, things like those definitely do make you stand out. And people need to also realize, if you want to be an actor, these materials are free. These are not the materials I'm telling you about are not things I've had to go to a library to buy or what have you. And even then, you can walk into the Macmillan Library or any library in Nairobi, and they have these books. Google PDF files, they have some of these books. Aside from books as well, small articles, videos on YouTube on acting, like if you just write Michael Caine acting on YouTube, there's an insane workshop he's done that I watched 3 million times any chance I get, because every time I watch it, I learn something new. So yeah, there's a lot of resources for actors. So right now, I would say there's no excuse for you not to stand out.
You do plays on stage, and you also do movies. So I just want you to compare the two experiences. Where are you comfortable the most?
Oh my gosh, this question, let me tell you, hii swali naulizangwa every time. Sijui mnakwanga mnatafuta nini. Honestly, honestly, I love both. But if I had to choose, it would have to be stage. Unfortunately, stage, we're not at a point in our country where stage can pay you sustainably to a point where you can just do stage. But if it was up to me, that's what I would do. TV, it is very possible to live on a TV check in this country. So yeah, that's a whole lot easier. But in terms of my passions and what I love and what keeps me awake at night, I would have to choose theater.
When we look at now the global market, what do you think as Kenyans we should do to get to the global market? Because you have seen Nigerians, these guys have already made money, they have invested in their craft. It's now a very big industry. South Africa, you see what they are doing. And Kenya, it's just when we are starting out, a couple of our movies have been to Netflix, but now for us to gain that global recognition, what do you think maybe should be done?
So mainly I'd say two things. Number one, we need government policies that protect our actors and filmmakers in general. Right now, if I go for a gig and we're negotiating a contract, there is no minimum amount of money that is set by the government that I should be paid. So the person, the producer or casting director, whoever you're speaking to for this role, can even offer you 2,000 bob for God knows what amount of work and how long a period of time. But you see, if we had policies where they're like, if you're playing a role for this number of days, this is the least you can be paid, and then negotiate from there. Or this is the kind of class of an actor you are. So even your minimum cannot be below, let's say 70K or 100K, depending on what you're working on. You're this class of actor, so you fall here. We don't have those. Us guys do shows, and 10 years later, our children are watching those shows, and your pockets are dry because what you were paid 10 years ago, that was it. So we need policies that can protect us from that. The minute my show jumps from, for example, KTN to NTV, and then NTV to Showmax, and then Showmax to Instagram, for example, if Instagram ever started, that version of thing, I should have been paid all those transitions. But right now, producers are getting away with paying you once because there are no such rules from the government. So wanakulipa once, and then they make money off of you for the next 10, 20 years till you're dead. So policies, policies, policies is the first thing. Second thing, which is the last thing I'll say on this question, we need our audiences to support us. So let me explain. There's a certain way these things work. I'm going to use Netflix as an example because you used it earlier. Netflix right now is a global market, right? Country Queen is, for example, on Netflix Global right now, which means they're being watched by over 190 countries and over 220 million subscribers. This means anyone on Country Queen can be watched by anyone in the world with a Netflix account, which means we're going past, local TV, video on demand platforms are making our work be seen. Now, here's something you people need to understand. The only way a show like Country Queen can get a season 2 is if you guys are watching. Netflix have records that say, Barry alianza episode 1, na akakwama minute 17. Na from there hakuendelea. Record ingine inasema, Auudi alianza episode 1, season 1 jana, na alimaliza leo asubuhi. They have those records. And you guys need to understand, such platforms, those numbers mean everything. If I go to them and be like, 23 million Kenyans watched Country Queen in its first week of dropping. Those are stats. They can easily give you money for season 2 and say, great, you've guaranteed us this number of people who watched your show in season 1. So now maybe we can bring on more people in season 2. But if you guys are not watching what we are churning out, then that means we're wasting money because our producers are not making their money back, and the people who we want to give us money are not seeing where their money is going. So it's a tag and a war. Ukiona yo poster ya Country Queen iko pale top 10, it makes the biggest difference for us. And that's what we want you guys to understand. Keeping that show in that top 10 means in the long run, pesa ya season 2 itaongezeka, there'll be better acting, there'll be better equipment, there'll be better crew, because there'll be enough money to get the best of the best. So, ni zote mbili, gava itusaidie, and also our audience needs to trust in us, because again, yes, granted, we are slightly not yet at the level of SA and Nigeria. But if you critically look at it, we have way better cast, we have way better crew. Na wasi wetu sahi wananunua equipment mwenda. So we have every single ingredient we need. Shida ni sasa, iyo pesa na hizo policies za kushikanisha hizo ingredients tuko nazo is what we don't have.
So I just want you to name some of the projects you have been, so that guys can even know your catalog.
Yes. Okay. So first thing I did on TV was This Is Life, which is right now on YouTube. It was on Switch and then Showmax. Now it's on YouTube. This Is Life. And then I've done a bunch of short films. Checkmate, which is on YouTube. Frontliner, which is so close to my heart. We did it during COVID. Sungura, which is currently doing a festival run. Living Isiolo, which is currently doing a festival run. Salem series, which is currently on Maisha Magic Plus and on Showmax, if you want to catch it. And most recently, a feature film called Rising Sun, which I produced, cast, and assistant directed. It's actually going to be in theaters from this Friday. So yeah, look out for that. It'll probably be in Diamond Plaza, IMAX. So yeah, it premiered on Friday, this Friday that just passed. So yeah.
All those movies you've talked about, I just want you to talk about your best experience in all movies. What's your best experience, or maybe just generally as an actor, what's the best experience you had? Maybe you met someone that you've always wanted to. Maybe you met a cast member who really opened up your eyes on certain issues. Just talk about your best experience as an actor.
All right. Well, I know it might be different for other actors, but I have found that not some actually, most of my brilliant experiences are not from projects that turned out great. They are from projects that I truly, genuinely enjoyed myself as the journey was happening. So I would have to say one of my favorite as an actor has to be Sungura. So Sungura is basically a story about, I play a bridezilla to be. And the story is set in my bridal shower, and these friends of mine are coming for a bridal shower, and one of my friends has a disability. So it's basically a story surrounding the stigma behind sex and disability. I would have to say the reason that was my best set is, number one, first of all, 3/4, it was full of women. According to most people, women can be very problematic, especially in large numbers. But it was so nice. People were friendly. It was loving. The sisterhood was beautiful. The director was so kind. And I think the reason it was one of my best sets, it was one of my hardest sets as well. I just come from having an accident. I had broken my foot. Nilikata kuachilia role. Director akasema sawa, kama umekata kuachilia, we will find a way around it. And she found a way to shoot with me on crutches with a broken leg. And throughout that whole film, you cannot tell that I could not walk, because they played around with camera and angles and all those other things. And it was beautiful. It made me realize, number one, that I can do anything. And number two, if someone really wants you in a working capacity, they will find a way to have you. Despite whatever challenges it is that you're having on your end, they will find a way. So nothing is impossible.
From what you've just mentioned right now, let's say that we get government support, hopefully we get support from the funds. Do you think that in Kenya we have the capacity in terms of skill? Like, you have been working with all these directors, producers, script writers. Do you really think that we have the skill? Because maybe if the government supports us and our funds support us, now it's now an issue about skill. Are we capable?
Yeah, I definitely do think we have the skill. In fact, I dare say, I think we have more skill than SA in Nigeria. The only thing that SA in Nigeria beat us on is policies and budgets. That's it. Aside from that, we have everything we need, honestly. We have this. I have worked with some insanely skilled people. And again, skill doesn't mean wase wameenda shule or what have you. Skill just means people who know their work, people who go over and beyond, people who read, people who watch things, people who travel to see how other people are shooting stuff and borrow some of those things. It's pretty much what skill is. And yes, we have way more than a lot of these people out here. Yeah. And also another thing is collaborating will also really help us in the long run. Because if we're not going to get the policies anytime soon or the budgets, if we shikanisha those skills that you're talking about, we can make insane projects, which can then lead to money coming in from whether it's private investors or corporate ones.
Generally, just from your experience still and what you can just, if you can just take yourself out of being an actor and look at this from an outward perspective, looking inside, do you think we are at the right place as an industry? Is there hope, or even you, maybe you are just doing something else because you know acting will not take you so far or something like that. So do you think that maybe our industry has hope if we continue pushing?
Yes, we definitely do have hope. Are we at the right place? No, we are not. I think COVID definitely put a very big hold on us. And it put a hold on us when we were on an upward trajectory. So no, we're not at the right place, but yes, we are heading towards it. And it's just a matter of time, honestly. It's just because you said as an outsider looking in, I'm a lover of the things my fellow creatives are creating. And not just in the world of acting, in the world of influencing, in the world of painting, in the world of singing. Us guys are doing crazy things, right? And it's just a matter of time that we stop being known. I've realized as Kenyans, we have a lot of one-hit wonders. You know what I mean? Someone's song will blow up throughout the whole world for like a good few months, and then you won't hear anything from Kenya anymore. And then an athlete will go and break our record, and it'll be the story for 2 weeks, and then you won't hear anything. We have the capability for such stories and such brilliance to be a consistent thing and not a moja here and there. So yeah, in a lot of youngins are producing now, directing now. If veterans slay, they're gonna come and take over. And the thing about our business is it doesn't wait for anyone. There's a chick right now who's sitting and watching me saying, siku moja nitacompete na huo dem role flani. And it's true. And the day will come when she will beat me to that role. So it's just a matter of everyone putting in that work and remembering that there's always someone better, always someone more talented, always someone richer, always someone better in general. So you always have to put in the work.
As we are finishing up, if somebody is starting out from the things that you have noted in the industry, just as we are summarizing, how should they go about things? Maybe things that you have noticed, you can tell them maybe do this, maybe don't consider this. You can just give them an advice right now as we are finishing up.
Okay, so I'll speak strictly as an actor. Number one, don't ever listen to anything that says paid audition, That's already an X. You do not need to pay to audition for anything. That's number one. Number two, follow audition pages on all your socials. You guys are always on Insta, Twitter. Some of us are a bit old, so we have Facebook. But follow those pages. If you just type audition on the search, whatever, audition Kenya, it'll bring for you all the audition pages we have. Follow all of them. They are always posting stuff that you can audition for. The Kenya National Theatre has a notice board that always has auditions. And that place has auditions every weekend, literally. Whether it's an audition for a set book or a play or a series or a movie, azikusangi every weekend. Follow casting directors that we have. Isaiah Evans, Gerald Langiri, Lorella Joey, Kevin Ogola. Follow these people. They're the ones who carry those jobos, and they're the ones who can basically help you with that journey. Have material ready as an actor. Projects have to find you ready. So I've given you the names of the people you need to follow. That's not enough. The minute they call you, are you ready? Do you have monologues that you have stored in your phone that you're recording for practice? And by monologues, I mean something you shot as recent as 3 weeks ago, because they get outdated. Ile monologue ulikuwa nayo 2 years ago, usitumie umse leo. Your acting has changed, your face has changed. All these things will affect whether you get that role or not. Do you have headshots of yourself that are recent? That if someone looks at, wanajua, yes, this one physically fits the role. Now it's just a matter of whether they can act or whether they look alike with so and so and so and so. So material, having your material is very important. Confidence. Do not go for roles that are not you. It would be very silly of me to go for an audition that reads 40-year-old spinster that has been wanting to get married for 30 years. That's a bit ridiculous, right? So go for the roles that suit you. 20-something-year-old girl, edgy, you know, likes this kind of boy. You know when you read a role that fits you, so go for that. Talk to your friends. Enter the DMs of people you look up to. Ask for advice. If they're cool people, I assure you they will reply. As long as you're not being nagging and you're just being friendly and straightforward, like, I need help with this, how did you go about this? Mtu atakujibu na atakwambia. But basically my bottom line is kujituma. No one is, even an actor like me, still has to audition. You will get to a level where the phone calls will start coming in, like, we have a role for you, da, da, da. But 3/4 of the time, even those phone calls don't directly give you the role. So don't ever be lied to. Even those people who are called directly, I probably called to go meet the boss directly for the boss to go and see whether you fit or not. So I want you automatic. Audi niko na role yako, kuja uanze kushoot kesho. Nah, it doesn't work that way. So yeah, also, I think I've given you a lot of pointers that can help, but I'll give you one last one. Rejection. Rejection is your best friend as an actor. Learn to deal with her or him, depending on how you feel. You need to realize that you're going to lose out on 9 out of 10 auditions. The minute you have come to terms with that, you're ready to be an actor. If you're not ready to miss out on 9 out of 10 auditions, this is not for you. And if you're not ready to miss out on all those and still go for another one, then yeah, because heartbreak in this industry is up there. So yeah, you really mentally, you need to be strong, you need to have tough skin. One person will see you last week and say, you should probably consider another career instead of acting. And next week, someone will tell you, you have such a gorgeous face for camera. So don't be discouraged. If you feel that this is really what you want to do, if people around you have told you you have a talent for this, if you've gone for stuff and you've bagged gigs and you've gone through all these processes and you feel this is it, keep going. The minute you give up, it was not for you in the first place. But if you stick on, then yeah, it's definitely your thing. And please, again, don't do it. Don't ever try to enter our industry in this country for fame or money. It will not work. It will not work. Even your favorites, who you think are living the best life. Also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, what? My sister, my brother. Stop watching people on socials and feeling some type of way. Your journey is your journey. Don't do it for fame. Don't do it for money, because you'll end up frustrated. Do it because you love it. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much for giving me your time. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Barry. This was a lovely interview. Asante sana.
Thank you.